The 2020 MLB Draft is going to be one like we've never seen before. Normally, we're used to 30, 40, sometimes even 50, 60 rounds in the draft. But this year in 2020, they're cutting it down to 5. That is a huge cut. Now, part of that is due to the fact that the minor leagues are being cut down. There are going to be less teams going forward. But still, a massive cut of like 20 plus rounds, that is going to make waves in Major League Baseball. So I figured today, let's go ahead, keep the draft theme going, talk about some of the best players of all time. Yes, Hall of Famers who would not be drafted in 2020 because they were drafted after the 5th round. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it. That's the best way to show your support. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. Remember to get in the comments down below, share with me your opinions on the MLB Draft for 2020. Do you like that they're shortening it? Do you think it's a bad idea? I want to hear what you have to say. And remember, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, GiraffeNeckMarc. A link is in the description. Always talking baseball over there. So we got 11 Hall of Famers. Well, really 10, but one's going to be a Hall of Famer soon. Let's get going into it. For the first Hall of Famer in today's video, let's go to the 1965 MLB Draft, where the New York Mets selected Nolan Ryan in the 12th round. Yes, one of the best pitchers, considered maybe to be the best pitcher of all time, Nolan Ryan, would not have been drafted in 2020. He would have been 7 rounds too late. In his career, Nolan Ryan, weirdly enough, never won a Cy Young, but he was an 8-time All-Star, 1969 World Series champion, and a 2-time ERA title winner. He holds the record for most strikeouts in Major League Baseball, the lowest hit per 9, as well as the most walks, struck out 300 batters multiple times throughout his career, as many as 383 in a season, pitched 27 seasons, a 324 and 292 record with a 3.19 ERA and a whip at 1.247. Like I said, striking out 5,714 batters, walking almost 2,800, and pitching close to 5,400 innings. This guy faced 22,575 batters in his career, and under the current Major League Draft stipulations, he would not have been drafted this year. So yeah, one of the best pitchers of all time, Nolan Ryan, would not have been drafted in 2020. Let's switch gears here for the next Hall of Famer that we're going to talk about. Going to the 1976 draft, in the 7th round, the Boston Red Sox took Wade Boggs. Now, Wade Boggs is not your conventional Hall of Famer. He's not this big bopper. He's not hitting all these home runs. He was a guy who hit for average, got on base, really before his time. He played 18 seasons in the majors, obviously is a Hall of Famer, 12-time All-Star, 1996 World Series champion, 2-time Gold Glove Award winner, 8-time Silver Slugger, and won the batting title 5 times, including a stretch where he won 5 out of 6 years. Led the entire majors in batting 5 different times, on base 6 different times, and OPS once. And again, this was for a guy who did not hit home runs. The most he ever hit in a season was 24, the next was 11. He finished inside the top 10 of the MVP voting 4 times, and for his 18-year career, he amassed over 3,000 hits, 578 doubles, 118 home runs, 1,014 RBIs, hit 328 with a 415 on base and a 443 slugging to give him an OPS of 858. He walked twice as much as he struck out in his career, 1,400 walks, 700 strikeouts. The Chicken Man himself would have been 2 rounds too late in 2020. For a completely different type of hitter now, we go to the 1988 MLB Draft. The Los Angeles Dodgers selected Mike Piazza in the 62nd round. Mike Piazza would be missing the 2020 draft by about 50 rounds, and it was only done as a favor by Tommy Lasorda to Mike Piazza's father, who was a friend of his. Mike Piazza, of course, is one of my favorite players of all time as a Met, but he had an incredible career as a Dodger too, and it's led to him being one of the greatest catchers to ever play the game. He came up in 1993, almost won the MVP, finished 9th that year, and won the Rookie of the Year. He then followed it up with a finish in 6th, 4th, 2nd, and 2nd in the following years with the Dodgers, and finished in the top 10 again twice with the Mets in 2000 and 2001. For his career, he's a 12-time All-Star, 10-time Silver Slugger, All-Star Game MVP, and a Rookie of the Year. He is the best hitting catcher of all time. His numbers are crazy when you think about it, especially when you consider that he had to catch. In his 16-year career, he had 2,100 hits, 427 homers, 344 doubles, driving in 1,300 runs. He hit 308 with a 377 on base, 545 slugging, to give him an OPS at 922 for a catcher that's just absolutely unheard of. Piazza is one of the best catchers of all time, one of the best players, and he was drafted in the 62nd round. No shot that he would come even close. Might not even be an undrafted free agent signing. Probably the best draft pick for value all time. For the 4th Hall of Famer in today's video, let's go back to the pitching side here. Go to the 1970 Major League Draft, where the Chicago White Sox selected Goose Gossage in the 9th round. Goose, one of the best closers, one of the best relievers of all time, kind of revolutionized the position, really made it a mainstay in Major League Baseball. 9-time All-Star, won the World Series in 1978, won a Rolaids Relief Pitcher of the Year, led the league in saves 3 different times, finished top 10 in the Cy Young voting 5 times, and twice top 10 in the MVP. In his 22-year career, he made over 1,000 appearances, a 124 and 107 record, 3.01 ERA with a whip at 1.232, pitched over 1,800 innings with 310 saves, striking out 1,500 batters, walking 732. He was one of the nastiest closers of all time. Like I said, kind of revolutionized that position, and is really one of the first nasty closers you can ever think of. Chicago White Sox wouldn't be able to draft him this year. Goose, though, would have been late by 4 rounds this year. Sticking on theme of closers here, got a couple more. 2004. For the 5th Hall of Famer in today's video, we have got the 11th round pick by the Cincinnati Reds in the 1989 MLB Draft, Trevor Hoffman. Trevor Hoffman admittedly had a weird kind of career. Came up with the Marlins in 1993, pretty quickly moved to the San Diego Padres, and kind of had success from the start, but never really got the recognition he deserved. Now, for his 18-year career, he was a 2-time Rolaids reliever of the year, and he was a 7-time All-Star, finishing inside the top 10 of the Cy Young voting 4 times. When he retired, he did have the most saves in Major League Baseball. Of course, that was broken by Mariano Rivera, but he made over 1,000 appearances out of the bullpen, a 2.87 ERA, 601 saves, pitching just under 1,100 innings, striking out 1,133 batters while walking only 307, and he only gave up 100 homers in his career. A whip at 1.058, career K per 9 of 9.4, hits per 9 of 7, walks per 9 2.5. Trevor Hoffman might not have been the flashy closer throwing 100 miles an hour, but he is one of the best closers of all time, and he would have been 6 rounds too late in 2020. I told you we're gonna stay on the theme of closers because the next one was drafted in the 21st round by the Washington Senators, a team no longer around, in the 1970 MLB Draft, and that's gonna be Bruce Souter. Bruce Souter, weird career. Very short-lived, but he was pretty dominant in the time that he was a pitcher. As a closer, he won a Cy Young Award, 6-time All-Star, 1982 World Series champion, and won the Rolaids Relief Award 4 different times. He only had a 12-year Major League career, which is one of the reasons why it took him a little bit longer to get in the Hall of Fame, but during his prime and during that time, he was arguably the best closer of all time. In his 12-year career, he made 661 appearances, a 2.83 ERA, and a whip at 1.14, had 300 saves in that very, very short time span, pitched over 1,000 innings, struck out 861 batters, walking 309. Like Goose Gossage, helped revolutionize that closer role into what it is today. You can't talk about the best closers of all time without mentioning Bruce Souter. The dude was phenomenal. Finished inside the top 10 of Cy Young voting 6 different times, and he also finished inside the MVP top 10 5 different times. 21st round pick, not even close this year. For the last pitcher in today's video, we still got more players, but let's go to the 1985 MLB Draft where the Detroit Tigers in the 22nd round drafted John Smoltz, one of the best pitchers of all time. Did it as a starter, also did it as a closer, a rare breed. A lot of people don't know he started off with the Tigers, ended up trading to the Braves, where he had an incredible career. In his 21 seasons, he won a Cy Young Award, he was an 8-time All-Star, 1995 World Series champion, even a Silver Slugger, NLCS MVP, and won the Rolaids Relief Award. Finished inside the top 10 of the Cy Young voting 5 different times, once inside the top 10 of the MVP. Like I said, he was a rare breed who was able to be an absolutely dominant starter along with being an absolutely dominant closer. From 2001 to 2004, John Smoltz was a reliever for the Braves, and he was disgustingly good. Kept an ERA like hovering right around the high 2s, low 3s. In his 21-year career, he was 213 and 155 with a 3.33 ERA and a whip at 1.176. Pitched over 3,400 innings, made 481 starts, 723 appearances, had 154 saves, struck out almost 3,100 batters while walking 1,000 and only giving up 288 home runs. I remember John Smoltz as a Mets fan when I was younger just being absolutely filthy, and that was in his older years. I didn't even really get to see this guy in his prime, and he was still filthy. And if it was 2020, might have never got the chance to watch him play because he was about 17 rounds too late. Next up, we're gonna go to the 1978 MLB Draft, the 20th round, drafted out of Spokane, Washington. The Philadelphia Phillies took Ryan Sandberg, one of the best second basemen of all time. Sandberg had a great career, MVP, 10-time All-Star, 9-time Gold Glove Award winner, 7-time Silver Slugger. He finished inside the top 5 of the MVP voting 3 different times, had a rare combination of power, speed, glove. He was a 5-tool player at second base, hit 282 homers, 400 doubles, 1,000 RBIs. If he was drafted in 2020, he wouldn't make it. He would be 15 rounds too late. We'd never see Ryan Sandberg get drafted. At the number 9 spot, let's go back to the 1989 MLB Draft where in the 13th round, the Cleveland Indians selected Illinois native Jim Thome. Jim Thome is one of these players that I distinctly remember during my childhood. Big dude, big left-handed swing, crushed baseballs, and if it was in 2020, he wouldn't have been drafted. 5-time All-Star, Silver Slugger. He played in that weird era where he played in the steroid era, but he didn't juice, so he never really won major awards because he was going up against guys who cheated. But for a guy who did it clean, oh my goodness, his numbers were crazy. From 1996 until 2004, Jim Thome averaged 41 homers and 111 RBIs every single season with an OPS over 1,000. You go from 1996 to 2009, he averaged 36 homers, 100 RBIs, and an OPS at 975. For his 22-year career, he had over 2,300 hits with 612 homers, 451 doubles, and 1 RBI shy of 1,700. Hit 276 with a 402 on base, 554 slugging to give an OPS at 956. One of the best left-handed hitters that I've seen in my lifetime. Jim Thome is a beast, and he was drafted in the 13th round. The second to last player of today's video was drafted in the 1975 MLB Draft by the Montreal Expos in the 11th round. That's going to be Andre Dawson. The Hawk had a really nice career, definitely deserving of the Hall of Fame. He won the MVP in 1987 for the Chicago Cubs, Rookie of the Year in 1977, 8-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glove Award winner, 4-time Silver Slugger, had some really impressive years throughout the 80s and even early 90s. For his career, he finished inside the top 10 of the MVP voting 4 different times, finished with almost 2,800 hits at 2,774, 503 doubles, almost 100 triples, 438 homers, and just shy of 1,600 RBIs with 314 stolen bases. He hit 279 with a 323 on base, 482 slugging, and an 806 OPS. Didn't really walk much, but the guy was absolutely raking at the plate. You didn't care. When he stepped up there, you knew something good was going to happen. The Hawk is a great player all time, a Hall of Famer, and he would have just missed out again on the 2020 draft. So this leads me to our last Hall of Famer, who's not necessarily a Hall of Famer yet, but you know he's going there, and that's going to be Albert Pujols, who was selected in the 13th round by the Cardinals in the 1999 MLB Draft. Yes, one of the best hitters of all time would not have been drafted in 2020. 3-time MVP, 10-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, 2-time World Series champion, 2-time Gold Glove Award winner, 6-time Silver Slugger, batting title, NLCS MVP. I mean, the accolades, the list goes on and on for Pujols. Now, yes, the last few years of Pujols haven't been great. He's been getting older, but I mean, his prime, nuts. From 2001 until 2012, Albert Pujols hit 475 homers. That's an average of 40 homers, 40 doubles, and 120 RBIs a season with a 325 batting average, 414 on base, 608 slugging, and an OPS over 1,000. That is disgusting. Those numbers don't even make sense. So good. He's finished inside the top 5 of the MVP voting 10 different times in his 19-year career. So half of his career, he was a top 5 player in his league. What? In his 19 seasons, he's played in over 2,800 games, has 3,200 hits, 656 homers, 661 doubles, 2,075 RBIs, and stole over 100 bases, while walking more than he struck out. A 300 average with a 379 on base, 549 slugging, gives him a career OPS at 927, and he does hold the record for the most double play balls. Not a good one, but hey, he still holds it. So yes, he's not a Hall of Famer right now, but he is 100% a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. I need to include him in this video because it just goes to show the MLB draft being shortened is not good. You're missing out on some of the best players of all time. So those are the 11 Hall of Famers in Major League Baseball who would not be drafted in 2020. The 5-round system, they're going to be too late. They're gone. They were taken too far deep in the draft. Crazy to think about. Mike Piazza, Albert Pujols, John Smoltz. We're talking about some of the best players of all time would not have been drafted this year. You can see my stance on where I feel with the MLB draft. I hate that it's being shortened, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, something a little bit different. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section below. You like this kind of style? Do you think the MLB draft is screwing up big time this year? I'd love to know what you think. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy the content. That's where we're going to wrap up today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.